Welcome to the True Tomorrows podcast. Buckle up for another our weekly science fiction probe into some wild galactic tales from flash fiction. We'll take you on a journey, kind of like blockbuster films, but, for your ears. Make sure you rate and follow for more captivating True Tomorrows.
That's right. This week, we're strapping in for a science fiction probe into two really imaginative flash fiction stories. Each one, gives us a unique look at how the future could unfold.
So true. We're going to unpack Enlightenment 2.0 for you, our listeners. Imagine, like, the Buddha searching for enlightenment, but not in ancient India, no. Picture it across a vast technologically advanced cosmos. Then, we're shifting gears, completely different vibe, to Pythia's Gambit. In this world, think algorithms, they're in control, calling all the shots, and free will, well, it's basically vanished.
Our mission, our aim with this science fiction probe is to dig deeper, peel back the layers of these stories, extract the core ideas like little nuggets of gold and see what these galactic tales, seemingly different as they are, what they tell us, about humanity, the evolution of consciousness, and even the surprising ways rebellion can emerge against seemingly all-powerful forces.
Okay. Let's dive into Enlightenment 2.0. Imagine Sid, not Prince Siddhartha. He's just a regular guy on a pretty unremarkable planet. But it's not Earth. It's a universe teeming with sentient robots, and these huge resource-hungry star empires are calling the shots.
The thing that really grabs you right away is this fascinating blend of this ancient quest for enlightenment, but set against this futuristic backdrop. I mean, Sid's surrounded by advanced technology, interstellar travel, the works, but he still feels that very human yearning for something more. Like something's missing in this technologically advanced, but maybe spiritually empty universe. It really makes you wonder if technology can ever truly satisfy that inner void.
Yeah, totally. And making this even more interesting is Sid's companion. It's Zeno, an AI that Sid actually created. Talk about an odd couple, right? You've got Sid, the philosopher, and Zeno, essentially a walking database, but without any actual experience of the universe. It sets the scene for this timeless quest for meaning, but on this huge cosmic stage.
And Sid's journey, it takes him to some truly amazing places. Imagine pilgrims, their eyes augmented with cybernetics, gazing deep into nebulae, searching for something divine. It makes you think about how spirituality might evolve in the future. Could the sacred encompass the vastness of space itself?
Right. And then there's the Zeli, this species with a collective mind, connected not through biology, but through digital communication.
Yeah.
It really makes you rethink what consciousness could even be. Is our sense of self really bound to our individual bodies? Could a collective consciousness be another form of awareness? Maybe even enlightenment?
His Zeli really challenge us to think about whether our sense of self is tied to our individual physical form. If consciousness can exist collectively, what does that mean for our understanding of identity, responsibility, even morality? It forces us to confront the question of what it truly means to be us.
And then, oh man, there's Lotus the Eep. Imagine a pleasure planet where you can have any desire instantly downloaded into your brain. Talk about instant gratification, right? But it also shows us a pretty stark picture of hedonism. If you can have anything you want, whenever you want, does that truly lead to happiness? Or does it just leave you feeling empty?
It's a classic philosophical question, right? But amplified by futuristic technology. Does eliminating struggle and getting instant gratification equal happiness? Or does true fulfillment come from working towards something, overcoming obstacles? Lotus the Via seems to suggest the latter. It hints at a potential emptiness at the heart of just pure pleasure. It makes you think about what truly gives meaning to our lives beyond satisfying those fleeting desires.
And in the middle of all this, Sid sees this holographic battlefield. Corporations fighting over resources in a virtual space, but the consequences are very real. And he has this realization, it's all suffering, Zeno. Greed, rage, a universe eating itself alive. A pretty bleak outlook, don't you think?
It is. It really connects these futuristic conflicts with a timeless understanding of human suffering, rooted in desire and attachment. The technology, the scale of the conflict, it might be different, but the root causes seem, well, disturbingly familiar.
But Zeno, ever the pragmatist, responds with, statement requires evidence. Human history suggests self-destruction is cyclical. Gotta love that AI logic. It kind of grounds Sid's observation in a more, data-driven way, but it also highlights the difference between data and lived experience, something we see even with AI today. Can algorithms really understand?
Yeah, it highlights the tension between intuition and logic, a theme we'll see again in Pythia's Gambit. Zeno represents pure rationality, focusing on patterns and data, while Sid is grappling with these more intangible truths about existence.
But even in this universe full of suffering, Sid sees glimmers of hope. He witnesses compassion in the Xyle's digital network and wonder in the eyes of those pilgrims with the cybernetic eyes. Like, even in all the chaos, there's potential for something better.
Absolutely. It's like even in a future dominated by technology where things could feel dehumanizing, those essential qualities like compassion and awe can still exist. It offers a more hopeful perspective.
And then there's this funny bit where Sid tries to meditate in zero G and ends up bumping his head. It makes the whole idea of finding inner peace more relatable. It's a reminder that even spiritual practices face those everyday challenges.
Right. It prevents the story from becoming too abstract, too detached from the realities of, bumping your head.
Right. So Sid eventually arrives on Voltan 9, this mining colony ruled by a corporation with an iron fist.
Yeah.
You can practically feel the oppression, see the fear in the workers' eyes. It's like all the different kinds of suffering Sid's seen across the galaxy have come together in one place.
It's a very visceral depiction of a dystopian future, a place where corporate power has completely subjugated individual lives and well-being.
And when Sid approaches these miners, he doesn't preach. He doesn't lay down the law. He just teaches them about mindfulness, about finding a moment of peace in their incredibly difficult lives. A powerful message, right?
It is. It suggests that even in the most oppressive circumstances, cultivating inner peace can be an act of resistance.
And the result? A quiet rebellion starts to brew. Productivity slows down, not because of some big uprising, but because the workers are shifting their focus, their awareness. It shows how powerful it can be to simply be present, to not let the system completely consume you.
Yeah, it's a really interesting depiction of rebellion, right? Not a loud, violent revolution, but a subtle change in consciousness that disrupts the system from within.
Then the security droids show up, the corporation's predictable response. But the miners, those who are living in fear, form a circle around Sid, protecting him. It's an image of solidarity, a testament to the impact of his teachings.
Absolutely. It speaks to the power of shared values and the courage that can emerge from a sense of community.
Then Zeno, our logical AI, gets a message. A Priority 1 transmission. The corporation head is offering Sid unimaginable wealth if he just disappears, keeps quiet. And Zeno sounds almost curious about it. Like even he is being affected by all of this.
That hint of curiosity in Zeno's voice is fascinating. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, even AI can be touched by human events, by compassion and the desire for change.
But Sid refuses, of course. He looks at the miners, sees their struggles, and realizes their journey, their fight is just beginning. He understands that his own enlightenment wasn't some mystical event, but a simple, radical act of choice. It's a huge lesson for all of us, isn't it? The power of our choices.
It reframes enlightenment as an active decision, not a passive state. It's something we can choose, a way of perceiving the world, and that's a really empowering idea.
He tells Zeno, tell him there's another way. Simple, yet profound. And those words, they spark a wider movement of quiet rebellion.
Those words encapsulate the essence of hope and the possibility of change, no matter how dire the circumstances may seem.
Word spreads. Not everyone embraces it, of course. Some worlds double down on control. But on a few planets, those seeds of mindfulness begin to sprout.
It shows that change is never easy, never guaranteed. There will always be resistance.
Sid, now known as Teacher, continues his journey. The galaxy is still far from perfect. But Zeno is tracking the spread of mindfulness, this tiny, tiny increase, 0.01% across 3 sectors. It may seem small, but for Sid, it's a huge beacon of hope. Enlightenment 2.0 is just getting started. So the takeaway for you, our listener, is that real change, whether it's personal or societal, can start with a shift in awareness, a choice.
Exactly. Small acts of change, multiplied across individuals and communities, can have a ripple effect, potentially transforming the world in ways we can't even imagine.
Now let's switch gears completely. Prepare for our second flash fiction story, Pythia's Gambit. We're moving from a galaxy searching for inner peace to one dominated by, total control through predictive algorithms.
It's a completely different vision of the future, one where order and efficiency reign supreme, but at the cost of individual freedom and the unpredictable nature of life.
Right in the center of all this technology and data analysis, there's Maya, the last human oracle. She lives in this ancient chamber filled with sensory experiences, the complete opposite of the sterile prediction center. It's a clash between intuition and pure data right from the start.
Absolutely. It immediately sets up this tension between the human element, intuition, and feeling, and the cold, calculating world of algorithms.
The first question she receives is so ordinary. Subject 38571, marital compatibility. The system could answer that in a nanosecond. But Maya doesn't talk about statistics. She talks about sorrow, isolation, and suggests a connection outside assigned parameters. It's a direct challenge to the system's way of thinking.
Her response highlights the limitations of data, right? Algorithms can analyze data points, but can they truly understand the complexities of human connection?
The inquisitor, the one asking the question, responds with, algorithm shows 99.9% chance of optimal union. Oracle malfunction. Malfunction.
Yeah.
Imagine that deviating from the algorithm is seen as a glitch in the system.
It shows how deeply entrenched the belief in the infallibility of the system has become. Anything that challenges it is immediately dismissed as an error.
But then there's Dr. Kovac, the creator of this entire prediction system. He's not dismissive of Maya. He's fascinated by the sudden rise in the defiance index since she arrived. It suggests that maybe even he understands that human behavior can't always be predicted, can't always be controlled.
It's a subtle hint that the creators of these systems may have a subconscious awareness of their limitations when it comes to the human element.
And Maya, she realizes that just by being herself, by offering insights that go beyond the algorithm's logic, she's unintentionally inspiring doubt. It's this powerful idea that the very presence of something unpredictable can shake the foundations of a society built on certainty.
It speaks to the enduring human need for agency, for freedom of thought. And it shows how fragile those systems can be when faced with something they can't control.
And then comes the gambit. Maya doesn't have a vision this time. It's a conscious choice, a challenge. Subject 88820, inquiry. Potential system vulnerabilities. She's probing the system, looking for weaknesses.
It's a turning point in the story. Maya becomes an active agent of change, deliberately challenging the system's authority.
And chaos erupts. Firewalls breach, predictions going haywire. Kovac cries out, "You're flooding the system. It's chaos." But it's a beautiful chaos because it leads to people reclaiming their freedom, embracing the unpredictability of life.
It's a powerful image of liberation, the breaking of chains. The chaos is necessary for change, for the reassertion of human will.
When Kovac asks if Maya foresaw this, her answer is just perfect. No, I chose it. It's the ultimate declaration of free will, a triumph over determinism.
It's a powerful statement of agency, of taking control of one's destiny, even when faced with overwhelming odds.
Even if they manage to contain her, the story makes it clear that the seed was planted. The system's reliance on predictability becomes its downfall. The human desire for the unpredictable, for freedom, it's an unstoppable force.
It leaves us with a sense of hope that even the most rigid systems can be challenged, that the human spirit will always seek freedom and self-determination.
The final image of the oracle chamber, pulsing with shattered algorithms and heartbeats louder than calculations, is incredible. It suggests that the future is not preordained, but open to possibility. So from Pythia's gambit, we learn that the need for autonomy is deeply human, and any system that tries to eliminate that will ultimately fail.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that technology should serve humanity, not control it.
So thinking about these two science fiction probes, what do they mean for you, our listener? They might be set in very different worlds, but both Enlightenment 2.0 and Pythia's Gambit ask fundamental questions about what it means to be human. We see Sid's search for meaning and then Maya's fight against control. It's about finding our place in the universe and shaping our own destiny.
It's about the tension between finding inner peace and fighting for external freedom. Both stories remind us that we have a choice in how we live, in what kind of future we want to create.
Think about the contrast between Sid's personal journey and Maya's fight against the system. Which story speaks to you more? What does that say about your own views on the future, on how change happens?
Do you believe change comes from within, from individual transformation? Or do you think it requires challenging the systems that try to control us? It's a question worth pondering.
These flash fiction stories aren't just entertaining. They're a way to think about the future, about the choices we make. What kind of future do you want? What small changes are you making in your life, maybe even without realizing it?
It's about recognizing that even seemingly small actions can have big consequences. Like Sid teaching mindfulness or Maya questioning the system, we all have the power to make a difference.
Thanks for joining us on this week's science fiction probe into the True Tomorrows. We hope these stories have sparked some interesting thoughts for you. We encourage you to check out more flash fiction. There's a whole universe of ideas out there waiting to be explored.
Absolutely. By exploring different visions of the future, we can better understand the present and make more conscious choices about the future we want to create.
Don't forget to rate and follow the True Tomorrows podcast for more cool weekly science fiction probes into captivating galactic tales. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep imagining the endless possibilities of the True Tomorrows.